Hey guys, M here from Transformers and Video Games, and welcome back to the channel. This is week number 6 of my garage sale video games and collectibles hunting series. If you're enjoying these videos, why not consider checking out my garage sale hunting and pickups playlist? Not only is it interesting to see some of the things that I've picked up over the last couple of years, but if you're thinking of getting into garage sale hunting yourself, it's a great way to find out what's out there, and you might also pick up some tips on how to ask for things that you're looking for, and even on how to walk away from a negotiation that you're emotionally invested in when you and the seller are just going to be too far apart in the price. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's roll out and see what we find this week.
Kind of meant as a pair, one slightly bigger than the other. Yeah, my dad said that too. Slightly bigger. It's kind of, his and her, right? Five each or 230. Sure.
Oh, that one's here. This one. Not this one. Is it?
Hello, good morning.
It's a really neat chessboard.
Pardon?
It's a really neat chessboard.
It is, but we cannot find one pawn.
Oh, I didn't notice.
So
Okay.
that's the trouble. We would have asked 10, but we'd ask 5 because we can't find the one pawn.
This is a timer here while you're playing.
It is. Yeah.
Add a little stress
And
to
that
the
can be
game.
super- Yes.
You don't happen to have any video
Okay.
games, do you?
$1. No.
No video games, okay.
$1 for any of these. My sister said this is a learning set.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's neat for kids or people like me who don't play.
The fancy one caught my eye.
Yes. And there are more skis and ski boots in the basement, but we didn't bring them out in case
Okay,
someone's interested.
thank you.
How much do you want? I don't know. I haven't looked at my sister and she's wrapped them all up. I don't think this is good. Lisa, what? Do you know if there are any white? Pardon me, Eva? Do you know if there are any white or clear cups, or are these all? No. No. No, there's no white ones, Eva, or no clear ones. Are they the same? Yeah, there's a set.
Where's this thing? Would you like to add that to your I'm just thinking about it. I don't know if I remember that. That's why the fuck me so hard.
Morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Really good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Yeah.
How much for the PlayStation?
For everything, including the 2 games, 80.
Okay. You don't happen to have any other old video games, do you? Like anything at all?
There's 2 Xbox Ones there.
Okay. But nothing like, I don't know, Game Boy, DS,
No.
Nintendo.
No, I used to have a Nintendo, but I already sold that one.
Oh, this morning?
Pardon?
This morning?
No, it was a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it had, I forget the exact, it had like everything on it actually. It was one of those systems that had like Genesis, Nintendo, it had like everything included.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
So you said 80?
Yeah.
Okay. And prices here are as marked, 40 bucks for the Forza? Yeah. Okay. I may swing back a little later, but good luck with the garage sale. Hopefully the weather holds up.
I know, I saw that after, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I think it's later in the afternoon they're calling for it.
Hopefully. You just never know anymore these days.
So tell me about it. Sorry, how much are the movies?
I believe different prices.
Oh, okay, they're
Maybe
individually
what do you
priced.
think, Like $2.
Yeah, if you take more, you have one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
This is originally all the movies you see there. I used to have a basement full, like over 1,500 of them,
Okay.
and I got rid of a bunch of them like a few months ago.
Okay.
These are paper.
But like I tell everybody else, I don't sell damaged stuff.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you telling me.
I'm not like some pawn shop people. Well, you look at it, do you like and they scratch the heads out of them?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that why you get rid of your DVDs so you have Netflix?
Oh no, I just
I got like 100 of them myself. DVDs.
my mom and them stay with her. Mom has
we have
Netflix
a
on
lot
there.
of
But they have
and Netflix
Oh yeah.
We
They
have
have
to
that, and they have that
TV.
special box.
Oh, the
You can
Roku?
speak onto the remote and magically put you on the channel. Let's say if you want
Oh,
Netflix,
okay.
it'll put you on Netflix.
That's awesome.
Oh, you too.
Technology, eh?
And we got like a lot of everything. Yeah. If we want to have businesses on it, it's going to be bad. No one has got anything. What anything?
I have patience. Like I'm open till 5:30. So.
Oh yeah.
I forget. Hey, my grandma's going to get her thing.
This rock.
Oh, may I sing you part of that?
That's your friend who picked your book. Something laying around here. All red, so. Like I said, I'm open till 5:30, so.
Okay, awesome. I may swing by again later.
I had that laying around for like since last year.
But
My mom bought it and then laid it around. I tried to sell online for months and months, and I thought, okay, well, nice to try to find a home somehow through it in a garage sale somewhere.
yeah.
And here's this very spry about 14-year-old.
Happen to have any video games? Any old video games?
I'm sorry?
Sorry, do you happen to have any old video games?
Any
the garage
old
sale?
video
There's some
games?
Wii games over there.
Oh, I must have missed them.
Original Wii.
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, you better go. You take care.
Oh, here they are.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
No problem. There's the other one.
Thank you.
No problem. I can hold them back if you want. You want to hold them? Jesse.
Thanks again, man.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks.
Was going to ask you, can I pick up the lemons?
It's not working. Put them in. How are you?
Really good. How are you?
Good, very good.
Happen to have any video games?
Like
Like anything at all?
not video games per se, but I got vintage toys.
All right, take a look at those.
Yeah, so this is all Playmobil from 1972. This is the German version.
Okay.
Okay, and then I got some old plushies. I got all McDonald's toys in complete kits.
All right.
What else do I got? G.I. Joe's in here.
I'll take a look at those, yeah. Any Transformers?
No, that's one I don't have.
What era are the G.I. Joes? Like 80s?
They
or-
range from 82 to 86.
Okay, so for anyone who watched my garage sale hunting video from last week, this is the footage that I was referring to in my outro. Now, unfortunately, this guy was blasting his radio so loud that you could barely hear our exchange with one another. And of course, you've also got the issue of all the copyrighted music that I don't want to take a chance with. So I just went ahead and removed the audio from this section of the video. As you can see, this guy's got lots of cool stuff, including a complete G.I. Joe headquarters command center, and lots of other vehicles and figures that I'll be looking to all you G.I. Joe collectors out there to help identify in the comment section. Towards the top here on the left, we've got the submersible high-speed attack and reconnaissance craft, also known as the Shark, and on the right we've got the hovercraft killer whale. Now, the story here is that apparently his mother-in-law passed away, and this was her brother's collection from back in the day, which he didn't even know that he had anymore. He said that when he pulled it out of the basement, it felt like a time capsule from the 80s. Apparently, everything was stored really well, and he even had original packaging for some of the vehicles, which is pretty cool to still have after nearly 4 decades in storage. This very cool looking box is from the Robotix series R2000, which they describe on the packaging as being a motorized modular building system. He told me that it was complete, but it's one of those things that I wouldn't want to take a chance on unless it was dirt cheap. Over here he's telling me that the G.I. Joe Vamp and the Dreadnought Thunder Machine are also complete and up for grabs. Apparently the Snowcat is complete with driver, but he's showing me here that there's a small broken piece on the missile pod. Now, I've got to say that I do appreciate his honesty here. It sets the tone for any potential transactions that we may have in the future. He was still talking to me about some of the vehicles that he's got, but I asked him if I could come around and take a look at that box at the back that has all the individual figures in their baggies. So first off, we've got Wetsuit with his file card. This is Thrasher with his file card as well. Flash. This is Beachhead. It's actually a figure I've been looking for a little while. Here we have Zap. This is Hawk. As you can see, it's got a little bit of road rash on his face. Not sure what that's from. This is Serpentor's Air Chariot. Now, he told me he already sold Serpentor. Just not sure why he separated the two. Here we've got Scrap Iron. This is Airborne with his file card. I'm not sure what this thing is. Maybe somebody can let me know in the comments section. This is Raptor. Here we've got Airtight. Tripwire. And there's some missiles here that say Hellfire missiles. I'm just not sure what vehicle those are for. So as you can see, he's got lots of individual figures here, and there's actually quite a few that I was interested in. But I thought I'd put them back in the box and ask him about Beachhead for now, since that is a figure that I've been specifically looking for a little while now. I also thought it would sort of set the tone as to where me and the seller are at when it comes to his asking price for some of this cool vintage G.I. Joe stuff. Now here I am going around. I'm going to take a look at a boxed vehicle that caught my eye a little bit earlier. At the top here, we've got the Cobra Wolf. And I absolutely love that artwork on the front. Flipping it around to the back side of the box, unfortunately you can see that the flag points have been cut out of the box. Now maybe somebody can correct me in the comments section and let me know if they're still called flag points, if they're Cobra figures and vehicles. That I don't quite remember. I'm not that knowledgeable on G.I. Joe stuff. I'm really more of a G1 Transformers guy. But I've always liked G.I. Joe. I collected it back in the day, and I do pick up some figures and vehicles even now when I find them for the right price. The seller's telling me here that he's going to look up Beachhead on a site called yojo.com, if I'm not mistaken. It's not a site that I'm familiar with, but I'm understandably hoping that things are at least reasonably priced on there. Now, my radar must have been on because this box of video games caught my attention, so I asked the seller if they were for sale as well. He told me that these were actually just the boxes and the manuals, but that I could feel free to have a look, and if I see anything that I'm interested in, just put them aside and he could give me a good deal on them. Now, as I'm going through the box, I can see that a number of these games have taken on water. I can tell that by obviously the condition of the cover art and in some cases the manual, but I still thought it'd be worthwhile to have a look and perhaps I could find something that was in still pretty good shape and that maybe I could get a good deal on. Now, some of the 3DS titles would have been good if they'd been in better shape. For example, Luigi's Mansion and Animal Crossing would have been ones that I would have bought, just because I'm pretty sure I'd probably find the loose games at a garage sale at some point. But I was really reluctant to get them again because they were in such poor condition with the water damage. This Playboy Playmate puzzle on top caught my attention. If it was $1 or $2 and I knew it was 100% complete, it would have been a fun thing to buy and bring home just to see what sort of reaction it would get from my wife. Now here I see a green Nintendo DSi box. Now again, I know there's nothing in there, but I wanted to see if it had all the instructions and everything. I actually regret not picking this up or making an offer on it. I've actually never seen a green Nintendo DSi. So it would have been interesting to buy the box and see if at some point I could try to complete it. Now, fortunately, I did take the guy's name and number, so if you see anything here that you think I should have grabbed, I've always got a way of reaching out and contacting him. Okay, so I did end up finding 2 game boxes that caught my attention. This is Super Mario Party 7 and Super Smash Bros. Melee for the Nintendo GameCube. Now, neither of these had taken on any water, and they both had their game manuals. So here I am asking the seller how much he wants for them, and as usual, he asks me to make him an offer. I told him I could do $2 each, which he accepted, but here's where he also told me how much he wanted for that G.I. Joe Beachhead that I was interested in. He told me that he looked them up online. I think it was eBay that he looked it up, and he said that one sold recently without the file card or the gun for $330 Canadian, which was way out of my price range, so I decided to pass on that. But here I am looking at some of the McDonald's treats of the week, and you can see they've got some of those classic pull back and go, in some cases McDonald's characters. He's got some of the Charlie Brown or Peanuts gang in here, which is pretty cool. This is Archie, if I'm not mistaken. Now here at the bottom, he had the California Raisins, which obviously aren't McDonald's treats of the week. I was interested in them, so I thought I'd ask him how much he wanted for them. Now, in this case, he was looking for $10, which actually isn't a bad price. It was just more than I wanted to spend at a garage sale on them. So I decided to pass on these guys for now. But again, I've got his phone number, so as long as they didn't sell, I've always got a way of grabbing these at some point in the future. Okay, so now that we've taken a look at that, it's time to jump around to the other side of the table and see what else is happening. This camera here is pretty cool for $3. Now, this Care Bear caught my attention. I never had a Care Bear back in the day, and I have no attachment to them, but the fact that it's still in its original box caught my attention. So here I am looking at the box, trying to find out a year that it was produced. I figured if it was made in the 80s, I'd be a fool not to buy it for the right price. Now, flipping around to the backside of this tag, it does say that it was produced in 2002. So obviously that killed my interest right there, so I thought I would just leave it behind for the next collector. Okay, so if you were paying attention when I first walked up to the garage sale at the beginning of the video, the seller was telling me that this is vintage 1972 German Playmobil stuff. Now, I don't collect Playmobil, and I never did, not even as a kid, but I thought I'd show some of the footage here for any of my viewers that do. These are the Muppets, or maybe the Muppet Babies in that particular case. And then there was this little bin of figures here. Now, I was scanning around in the box and didn't really see anything that caught my attention other than the 2 California Raisins. But again, that's the sort of thing I'd prefer to buy as a set, so I decided to pass on those. And that's about it from this particular garage sale. Okay guys, it's getting a little bit later in the morning, so it's time to wrap this one up. Thank you very much for checking out the video. Now, I was absolutely blown away by that vintage G.I. Joe stuff that I saw. Just unfortunately, me and the seller were going to be way too far apart to come up with a price to close that potential deal. That's how it goes sometimes, and a big part of garage sale hunting is knowing when to walk away from a situation like that. Anyways, thanks again for checking out the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and join me right here next week for another garage sale hunting video. Take care.